Okay, so this is the new number ones coming out in June for DC, Marvel, and Image. So first of all, we're going to look at DC's. The big one for DC, they're resurrecting the Elseworlds range of titles. So the first one they're going to bring out is the sequel to the classic Batman Gotham by Gaslight. And pardon me. This one is called Gotham by Gaslight: The Kryptonian Age, and this is written by Andy Diggle, art by Leandro Fernandez. That's the cover. It's going to be 12 issues, $4.99 an issue, but they are 40 pages each. And it says, the new era of Elseworlds kicks off with the return of its crown jewel, the mysterious and gothic world originated by Brian Augustyn and Mike Mignola. When a mysterious meteor falls on the wide open plains of the Midwest, it will unleash a chain of events that find Gotham's bizarre Batman contending with not just the twin threats of the Catwoman and mysterious international assassin, but also the emergence of superhuman beings beyond all comprehension. And this sequel series expands the 19th century DC universe beyond the confines of Gotham City, showcasing bold new visions of once familiar heroes. So that's some of the artwork. And they're re-releasing as well Gotham by Gaslight, the facsimile edition. Do pick this up if you've never read it. It's got gorgeous artwork by Mike Mignola and P. Craig Russell inking him. And it's 48 pages and it's only $4.99. Another one, it's not a comic, it's an omnibus, but it is quite an important one if you're into this type of thing. I'm not, but a lot of people are. And this is DC versus Marvel Omnibus. So this is 904 pages, $150, and it's basically, it has loads of the crossovers dates back to the 70s, you know, like Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Treasure Edition, and X-Men and the New Teen Titans, and so on and so on and so on. So if you're into stuff like that, I just find it a gimmick and it doesn't hold any appeal to me, then I'm sure you'll be happy about that. And another one that's going to get a lot of buzz is the DC versus Marvel, the Amalgam Age Omnibus, which is 1,120 pages, $150. So this is that. I think they did two seasons of this where they basically mashed together DC and Marvel heroes to create new heroes. And this collects all the comics which were released on DC's side. It won't feature two comics because it had Gerard Jones, who's not a nice person at all. I don't want to talk about him any more than showing up because he doesn't deserve to be talked about, but he's not nice. So I'm quite happy to not including his stuff in there. So if you're into that type of thing, then go for it. Thing is though, the comics are really cheap to get, like dollar bins and stuff like that, so but people will buy it because they like gimmicks. And then another one for Pride Month, yay! Not that I'm biased, is DC Pride 2024. And again, it's going to be $9.99, 104 pages, so it's okay. In their normal like prestige format for this type of thing that they bring out. And it's got some really good writers on it. Elle Ewing, Ngozi Ukazar, Nicole Maines, who played Dreamer, and she's now writing Dreamer, Phil Jimenez and others, art by Ngozi Ukazu, Claire Rowe, O'Neill Jones and others. So loads of different stories covering the whole LGBTA spectrum of characters that appear in DC Comics. One that is really nice, this is one that I might pick up, not too bad about the DC Pride, but it is good that they do have such a good representation, is DC Pride, a celebration of Rachel Pollack. So it'll be basically looking at her life and the impact she had on DC Comics. She took over Doom Patrol after Grant Morrison, and she created the first transgender superhero for DC Comics. But I might contest that because I'm sure Milestone Comics did a character in a comic called Death Wish, where the main police officer investigating was transgender. But yeah, then again, this is superhero stuff. Yeah, ignore what I'm saying. But yeah, so this says in the 1990s, writer Rachel Pollack did the impossible. She raised the bar for surprise and strangeness in her beloved run following Grant Morrison's career making Doom Patrol. And this one-shot reprints the debut of the iconic Coagula, DC's first transgender superhero from Doom Patrol 7, along with the long unavailable one-shot Vertigo Visions the Geek. And in an original final story, Rachel's most beloved creation, Kate Godwin, aka Coagula, returns to the spotlight in a tale of triumph over death, written by Joe Corallo, who's a really good writer and a personal friend of Rachel Pollack's. Rachel's longtime friend and collaborator, and drawn by Ry Hickman. So I think that's a nice, really nice tribute that to do. DC really do good tributes to people who we've sadly lost too soon. So I think that's a really good one to get, especially if you're a fan of, like I said, Doom Patrol or just good comics. And then they're doing DC Pride Uncovered, which is $5.99, 4 pages. Basically all the covers from a lot of the Pride issues, what they do every so often. Like, for example, all these comics are having Pride covers for this month, as well as these. So they really are nice covers. So I'm not a big fan of, I just don't really go for variant covers, but if it's your thing, then there's some really, really nice artwork there. I'm just going to pause it because it's okay, it's working again. So I'm just going to scroll down. I don't think there's many other number ones, which I'm quite pleased about, because I think DC are being a bit more sensible in the releases, whereas Marvel kind of goes each month and like throws out 50 or 60 new titles that you know are going to get cancelled after 2 or 3 issues. DC have like pulled it back a bit, and I'm quite happy about that. It means you can collect realistically. There is one new one coming out which I'm quite interested in because I love this. My Adventures of Superman. I don't know if you've seen the new cartoon called that. It's very anime flavour. I know people love X-Men 97. I cannot connect to it. I won't slag it off because it's just not me. I've not got any nostalgia for it because I was a grown-up when it came out. I was in my 20s. God, I'm old. But a lot of people have that nostalgia kick when they watch it, so it appeals to them. I've watched it. It's okay. If you don't have the nostalgia, I don't think it hits you the same way. But this one, I really enjoy because it's a fresh take on Superman. It's My Adventure with Superman, and they're now doing a 6-issue series written by Josie Campbell, who's a really good writer, and art by Pablo M. Colas. I'm really excited for that because I love that series. It's one of my favourite new cartoons, and that's coming out $3.99, 6 issues. And I think that looks like it could be it for DC. There's one more, and this is, I can't forget this one. This is my one that I'm really looking forward to. One of my favourite heroes. It's somebody I'd love to be, but once told no. I just want to no, but I can't. I wish I could, but it's Satana. I think she's just the coolest magician in comics. And they're bringing out a 5-issue series from. It's $5.99. I'm hoping. Yeah, it says all covers are cardstock, so I'm hoping they're doing it like the Prestige Plus, what they did for Waller versus Wildstorm. 32 pages. Coming out on Black Label. Five issues. So it's a mature reader's version of Zatanna, written by Marika Tamaki. I think she's a really good writer. Some people went off her because of the Starfire book. It's so stupid when they like give up all the cold people. You woke because of one book. Stupid. But I think she's really solid. So I'm pleased she's doing it. And Javier Rodriguez is doing the artwork, who's a really nice artist. 5 issues, and it says, now the moment you've all been waiting for, please put your hands together for Zatanna Zatara, Chris Entertainer in the crappiest hotel and casino in Las Vegas. So basically an interdimensional vortex cracks open during Zatanna's act, and a terrifying demon crawls out to kill her. So, can't wait. This is some of the artwork. I think this is going to be such a fun read. There's a new one-shot. I don't normally focus on books, but I've done it with the Omnibus, so I'll do it with this, because it's a one-shot YA graphic novel, 208 pages, only $16.99. And it's The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley, and that cover is, and it's written by Melissa Moore, drawn by Jen St. Ons. So it's repositing Harley and Harley as teenagers. So it's a good queer romance, and the artwork looks really nice. And I think this is one that my daughter might enjoy reading because she likes DC's YA books. And a facsimile I am going to get. Don't buy many facsimiles, but I'm definitely going to get this one. And I think if you're a fan of comics, you owe it to yourself to get this because you don't need to get any more from it. It's Mad Magazine #1 facsimile edition, full of really fun comic strips. I had this in a book years ago, written by Harvey Kurtzman, art by Harvey Kurtzman, Jack Davis, Wally Wood, Bill Elder, and John Severin. So all prime comic legends. $3.99, first 2 pages. Definitely buying that. And they're doing facsimiles of Crisis, on Infinite Earths. So that's it for DC, apart from a load of graphic novels that are coming out. I will pause it now and then we'll look at Marvel. Okay. Hi, so looking at Marvel. Now Marvel is basically for June Blood Hunt. Loads and loads and loads of Blood Hunt tie-ins. So there's I'm not exaggerating. There's about 40 or 50 Blood Hunt tie-ins. So I'm just seeing if there's any new #1s from it. Yeah, there's Wolverine Blood Hunt 1 of 4. And this is by Tom Waltz, who wrote the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Juan Jose Rip, who's a really good artist. Covers by Ben Harvey. So Wolverine gets tied into the whole Blood Hunt thing. That's it basically. $3.99, 4 issues. And if you are following Blood Hunt, you're going to be very poor because a lot of these are coming out weekly as well. And like I said, there's a ridiculous amount of new titles. There's already a load of new ones released last month, and now there's going to be more this month. And another one, it's a one-shot, Jubilee, nice Peach Momoko cover. But again, are these all necessary really? This is Marvel being extremely greedy. X-Men Blood Hunt, Jubilee, Preeta Chiba, never heard of the writer. Ina Balam, never heard of the artist. Why are you doing this, Marvel? You're just releasing so many titles, and you're just basically thinking, we need somebody to do it, just get them. It could be an intern for all I know. I don't know who these people are. Marvel just aren't getting names anymore. They've got a few names. They've got Jed MacKay, who wasn't a name, he's made himself a name now. Al Ewing, and Jonathan Hickman. That's it, basically. Yeah, I'm loving Marvel more than I was, but they still get me frustrated. But you're allowed to be. And there's another one shot, Magic Blood Hunt. And Ashley Allen, never heard of them. Jesus Hervis, never heard of them. One shot, Blood Hunt, $3.99. More. Okay, Blood Hunt, Blood Hunts. Blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna pause it because there's so much Blood Hunts. Okay, one that is like a landmark issue-ish, but it's Marvel's magic numbering. So X-Men 35, which is now Legacy 700. Is it really? Is it Marvel? Is it? Are you really sure about that? I don't know where to get these figures from, but anyway, it's Jerry Duggan, main writer, Kieran Gillen, Al Ewing, Chris Claremont, Jed MacKay, and Gail Simone. So 88 pages, $9.99. And it's going to be one essential storyline, and the rest are just going to be little piffy 4 or 5 page stories. So it's the end of the era. This is the end of the Krakoa era, and after this is when Gail Simone and Jed MacKay and Eve L. Ewing come on to take X-Men into new directions. If you're a completist, buy it. If you want to finish off Krakoa, then buy it. I'm glad I'm not, because I'm saving myself $9.99. And Scarlet Witch relaunches yet again. This is like her third series in not even 3 years, 2 years, a year and a half. And again, it's by Steve Allen. That's the same writer who was on Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, same writer who was on Scarlet Witch. So why not just carry on with the normal numbering? Why? because people buy number one, but then they'll drop off again. Marvel logic is beyond me. It really is. But it's very dear. It's $4.90. It's $5.99 for 40 pages. That's not a good sign. Marvel meant to be capping their comics, saying they're not going to overcharge anymore. Hello. So they're overcharging still, and yeah, it's the Scarlet Witch. It's not a proper. It's not a new number one. They're just doing it to generate sales again. One comic I'm kind of interested in, but I'm kind of not because I'm not Disney. I never in the UK there was no real like affection for the Duck comics. They just didn't make it over here. But the only thing that piques my interest is it's because Jason Aaron's writing again. It's Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime. Marvel. This first one time Marvel's done a Disney comic, which is crazy because they are Disney. And it's by Jason Aaron, Paolo Matori, and Francesco Dipolito, and Vitali Maggiatori. So it's all I think these are the Italian artists who've done Duck comics in Europe. 64 pages, $7.99. But so yeah, it's a Uncle Scrooge one shot, kind of like an adventure. But it'd be interesting. I'm interested because I can't really picture Jason Aaron doing a Disney Duck comic. But there we go. One comic I will be getting is the Ultimates number one. These are all the variant covers. I'm enjoying the Ultimate Universe at the moment, so I will give it a try. It's $5.99, 40 pages. So that means regular comic will be $4.99. It's by Dennis Camp, who is a good writer, really good writer. Juan Figueroa is a good artist. So it says the Ultimates return to greatness, spinning out of Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Universe, Rising Star Dennis Camp, and Juan Figueroa, who did Invincible A-Man, assemble an all new team of Ultimates in a series that kicks off the next chapter in the Ultimate line. So, if like me you enjoy the Ultimates, it might be an interesting title just to try and see if you like it. I'm just going to pause this because my tablet's playing up. Okay, so next up is Venomverse Reborn. Didn't they just have one of these? So Venomverse yet again. Marvel. I want to like you. You pulled me in with the Ultimates. I'm liking Captain Marvel and Daredevil. But then you keep doing shit like this. It is shit. It is absolute fucking shit. Nobody needs this. It's short stories just doing, yet again, multiverse versions of Venom. $4.99, 32 pages. Dear as well for what you get. And then there's X-Men Heir of Apocalypse. Sorry, not Hair. Heir of Apocalypse. So this is like the final Krakoa-based mini by Steve Fox, who I've not read much of, but I heard is quite good. Nifo Diaz, never heard of, as the artist. And it says Apocalypse tested the mutants of Earth to guarantee that only the strong will survive. Now as he takes his throne on Arakko, another must rise in his place and ensure the mutants of Earth do not grow weak in his absence. And 12 mutants, chosen from the X-Men's greatest heroes and villains, will compete for the honour of, but only one can become the heir of Apocalypse. 40 pages, $4.99. Regular issues after that, $3.99. 4 issues. So it's basically Battle Royale meets Gladiator. Hey, you can do sell pitches. So if you've been following it and you want to basically round off Krakoa, then that'd be the one for you, but I'm saving my pennies. I am going to try the X-Men when it gets relaunched. Then X-Men... No, I think that's it. Have a look. There's a weird one here. Deadpool role plays the Marvel Universe. So, role-playing book about Deadpool, 48 pages, $9.99. Loads of facsimiles of Secret Wars, latest Spider-Man, Godzilla #1. Again, Marvel overcharged for the facsimiles, $4.99. They should only be $3.99. Come on, Marvel. There's quite a few facsimiles who I'd love to get, but I just don't want to pay that amount for the facsimiles because when you can get them basically like that second hand. Um, One comic I am tempted with. I know this isn't the late. This is the number one came. It's coming out in April. It's Spider Gwen because Stephanie Phillips is quite a good writer and the art looks nice. So I might try Spider Gwen. And I'm enjoying Spectacular Spider-Man as well. So like Spider-Man. So like I said, there's a few Marvel's comics that I am actually enjoying at the moment. So I'm not trying. I don't want to bash them and bash them and bash them all the time. I want to show a bit of love. But I think that's it for Marvel. There's a giant sized Daredevil. I'm enjoying Daredevil, but I'm not going to pay $6.99 for a 48-page comic which has one new strip and the other one is a reprint of a comic I've already got by Frank Miller. No. If it was two new strips, I'd buy it, but I can't understand the logic in that marketing at all. By the way, it looks like Blade's finished with issue 10, so if you were enjoying Blade, so to do Blood Hunt and to get rid of Blade. Marvel. But yeah, I think that's it. There might be. I'm just going to pause it because there's so much rubbish. I mean, so many titles on here. Right, there's a one here for all you Star Wars fans. Ashoka. $4.99, 40 pages. So I've got a feeling this is just like the adaptation of the series that was out recently. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't follow Star Wars, so I couldn't say. And yeah, that's it. So last but by no means least, I'll have a look at Image. Okay, my laptop had a breakdown, my tablet had a breakdown, so I've got it working again. So first of all, from Image, and a series returns, so that's Black Cloak by Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren. So issue 7 comes out in June. $3.99, 32 pages. Then let's have a look. There's a new one from the Energon universe, Destro 1 of 5 by Dan Watters, who's a really good writer. He's part of the same writing pool as Ramvi and Alex Packnadell, and art by Andre Bresson, who did Darkrai. So Destro, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, means nothing to me. He's got his own mini, 5 issues. First issue's $4.99, but it is 40 pages. So there you go. So those who are into Energon and stuff, you'll enjoy that. Then there's another series. This one I'm tempted with. It's called Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. $4.99, but it is 40 pages. Jerry Duggan, who writes Deadpool and X-Men, and Gary Brown, who is the artist for Baby Thief, present a massive double-length first issue of the groundbreaking new series. The sunset on Samurai and Gunslingers at roughly the same time, but our two leads don't die off quietly. In the east, Asami, an Onamushi warrior and female samurai would rather die with their weapons than surrender them to a sword, and in the west, the gunslinger McCrae follows his revenge to the bitter end and pays the ultimate price, and the future lovers, mortally wounded in a world apart and awake together in purgatory, ruled by a ruthless society of damned warriors. So those are some of the covers. So it's one of those, it's like a very Japanese trope that of anime, where they die and they end up in a new world, and this is what happens with these. So it's kind of like an adventure and romance. And I'm on the Image website, and it's not very. It doesn't let you see the new titles first. So after that, there's lots of graphic novels coming out from Image, but we focus on the comics on this bit. Right, so after that, there is a new series from Tom McFarlane's Corner of Image, and it's called Misery, 4 issue series, $2.99. He does really good price points, but I'm not a big fan of the Spawn universe. Right, written by Tom McFarlane. His comics are okay when they're written by somebody else, but he's a piss poor writer. And artist Simone Kudransky, who did Something Epic, and he's done loads of Spawn related stuff. And Cyan Fitzgerald is just a young woman trying to find her place in the world. So she's the daughter of Wanda Fitzgerald, the former wife of Val Simmons, who of course is Spawn. And she's been endowed with incredible abilities that keep her cut off from those around her. So that's the cover. And if you're into the Spawn universe, I'm sure you'll love that. The other one of Spawn I'm going to try is Sam on Twitch. See what it's like, because it's cheap, and if it's crap, I'll just stop it. Don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. Oh yeah, Plastic comes back. If you remember, that's by Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard. So, miniseries premiere. Everyone's favourite serial killer has returned. Learn how Edwin came to his first kill at 10 years of age, and how that set him on a blood-soaked path of decapitation, sporks, and dolls on his way to finding one true love of his life, a sex doll named Virginia. So, very dark and twisted. First 2 pages, $3.99. Those are the covers. This one has a lot of people excited. It's by the creator of Little Bird. So writer Darcy Van Poelgeest and art Ian Bertram, and alternate cover by Tradmore. 56 pages, $5.99, and this is Precious Metal, 6 issue series. This is the prequel to Little Bird. So those are the 2 covers. I've not read Little Bird. I've heard good things about it, and I do want to read it. So I think I'll wait for this to come out in collected form, because I want to read that first. But that's coming out in June. And there's another miniseries called Remote Space, 4 issues, by Cliff Rathbone, alternate cover by Ryan Otley. And it says, year is 2450, Earth is dying, the human species has gone down 2 different evolutionary paths. One used cybernetic augmentation to adapt to space travel, and humans left behind used genetic manipulation to adapt to Earth's worsening climate. For Earth to survive, civilizations need to collide. There you go. $3.99, 4 issues. This one could be good, or it could be really cringe. It's Rifters. It's a comedy time travel kind of like cop comic. Joe Troman and Brian Posehn, not familiar with those at all. Some really good artists doing the alternate covers. A. Van Oming, Tony Moore, Mike Allred. The artist is Chris Johnson though in the regular comic. And it says, the world of Rifters is where time cop collides with law and order, filtered through the stupid Max Martelot Einstein lens of Mr. Show. So I'm always a bit nervy when it's something that's a bit comedy, because it could be really bad. So it's $3.99, and that starts this month in June. I don't normally give shout outs, but there's a graphic novel that I think a lot of people want to get. I want to get it, from Cal Starks, and it's Rock Candy Mountain complete trade paperback. That had a lot of buzz when it first came out. 232 pages, $19.99. Another one from the Energon universe. So I'm sure this will sell heaps and heaps. Written by Kelly Thompson, great writer. Art by Marco Ferrera, good artist. And it's Scarlet, 5 issue series, again from G.I. Joe. And there's one, this one is coming out, I might get this digitally. I do get a lot of image minis digitally and just get like wrong goings in comic form. This is Self-Help, written by Jesse Kellerman, arts by Mariana Ignazi, and it's a down on his luck rideshare driver. Jerry House's existence is a bleak one, especially because every fare he picks up tells him how much he looks like uber successful self-help guru Darren Hart. So what he does, he ends up taking up the self-help guru's identity, and from there it becomes all twisted and convoluted. So basically somebody pretends to be somebody who's not, and he gets found out. And this month, Six Fingers and One Hand concludes. That was the crossover series by Dan Waters and Ram V. And I think that it could be the final bit now. Yeah, so that's it from Image. So there you go. So that's it for June. So hope that was okay. I did say I was going to do a recommended video, but I attached that onto my hauls and reviews. So just watch that video if you want to see me recommending a graphic novel that I think you should try. Okay, bye.